Hey everyone, anybody got a garden out there? We don't have a huge garden, but one thing we do have is two big, beautiful rhubarb plants. And rhubarb plants in the spring, with this beautiful weather we're having, where it's rainy and then sunny and then rainy and then sunny, are growing like crazy. So let me tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a strawberry rhubarb pie. And how am I going to do that? I'm going to start by demonstrating our amazing egg slicer. Isn't that pretty? I love the color, frankly. And what does an egg slicer have to do with strawberry rhubarb pie, you might ask? Well, let's start by doing an egg, and I'll show you how beautifully it works. Ta-da! Now, I'll show you a little trick I have. If I'm making an egg salad, instead of mashing it, I just turn it and slice it the other way, and you have that really nice egg for an egg salad without having to make all of that mashing mess. Put in whatever it is you put in, your mayonnaise, your dry mustard, all that kind of stuff. And there's egg salad for lunch. Lunch is ready, Mom.
Thank you, I'm hungry.
Awesome. But the other really cool thing you can do with this is to make a strawberry rhubarb pie, you need strawberries. So we have put them in our strainer. I have rinsed them off, let them drip because this holds perfectly in the sink. This strainer also has, it's two-part. So it's got a little mini strainer if you're just doing a little bit of something, the big strainer. But how about if you're doing like potatoes you want to drain from the, and you want to shake them up, or some pasta and really get it all drained? Well, look, turn it over. It'll drain right out and loosen up. I know when I do rice noodles, they tend to clog up the bottom because they're really starchy. And so when you flip them over, you get the rest of the water out. And because it clips in under here, which is so cool, you don't have to like hold it and get steam burns while you're draining hot things. But regardless, we got our strawberries ready for our strawberry rhubarb pie. And we would have to hull them and slice them, which can take forever, unless you have a super duper little egg slicer like this. And look, we push it down and we have a perfectly sliced strawberry. Look at that. You could put that on top of a cheesecake and really impress the heck out of the neighbors, hey? So that's how I'm gonna do the strawberries and save myself a ton of time for a strawberry rhubarb pie. Now, we keep our strawberries in a, Mom?
I think that's called a fridge smart.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And we keep them in here because they last how long in the fridge, Mom?
We've had them last 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The fridge smarts are awesome. They're dependent on how fresh your food is from the supermarket. So supermarkets that are really busy and have a really high turnover rate of their fruits and vegetables, they'll last forever because they're coming into your house really fresh. These vent, so depending on what type of fruit or vegetable you're putting in, you set your vent, and they just last a crazy long time. The other thing we started doing with these is taking them to the farmer's market with us. And instead of bringing the food home in plastic bags and things, which we're trying to stop using a lot of, we put them in here, put the seal on, and bring them home. The really nice thing about that is when you buy the raspberries, they're not coming home as raspberry sauce. They're still totally nice, beautiful raspberries ready for eating. And they go straight in your fridge. Because with Fridge Smarts, dry and dirty will keep everything the absolute longest. If you rinse them off, make sure they're really dry before you put them in here. So, got my rhubarb. My mom lovingly washed and sliced up all the rhubarb yesterday. We put it in this Thatsa bowl. We love our Thatsa bowls for a couple of reasons. First of all, we find the seals. Mom and I both have some arthritis in our hands, and the seals, taking them off with this big tab is super easy. They also have this really nice handle, so that when you're mixing and stirring on your own, your bowl isn't going everywhere and you don't have to do the wet cloth trick. And look how beautiful that rhubarb is. And the thing is, because it's spring and it's growing like crazy, this is how much extra we have after the pie. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna freeze this so that we have more pies. This is a 4 and I believe it's 3/4 cup size freezer mate. So that's 2 pies worth of rhubarb right there. Put it in the freezer, label it up, and be ready for a strawberry rhubarb pie like sometime in the winter, which will seem like a huge treat. And switch it up, guys. I've made a strawberry bluebarb. Let's try that again. I've made a blueberry rhubarb pie, which is really good, or crisp. I've mixed it up with raspberries. I've mixed it up with apples. Use your imagination. Strawberry rhubarb may be the famous one, but it goes really great with all the other summer berries in crisps or pies or cobblers or whatever you're making. So we have the baking stuff out too, which I want to show you real quick. We love these measuring spoons because they clip together. So you know how in the drawer, you always have them like freaking everywhere and you can't find anything? Not anymore. Oh, there's the peanut gallery again. They're all stacked and stuck together. It also comes with a couple of measuring spoons you don't normally get. For example, this one is a 1/2 tablespoon, which is really handy. You really won't believe how much you use it until you start using it. It also comes with the 1/8 teaspoon, which is awesome. And the super nice things about these is these have a flat bottom. So when you're baking, you do your mise en place like they do on the Food Network. You've got your salt in there, your vanilla in there. You've got everything ready to go. And you know, it seems silly and sort of pretentious if you're just a home cook, but I'll tell you how much faster it goes when you do this setup and how much easier the cleanup is because you've used just what you need to use. You haven't pulled everything out and you remember which ones are dirty and which ones are clean. We like the measuring cups too. They're a pretty color to start with, but you notice they come with a few more than your normal measuring cup set. Okay, they've got the 1 cup. They've got the 3/4 cup, pretty standard. They've got the 2/3 cup. Oh, isn't that amazing? Because how many times do you have to take your 1/3 cup and pull things out? This way, you can measure that up right out. Then we've got the 1/2 cup, the 1/3, and the 1/4, just like everywhere else. But that's what's really handy about those. Remember from the oats and the grain shows, we've talked about our Modular Mates. Got brown sugar in there that's going to stay fresh for 2 years without having to put in any of those little magical genie things. And then we've got our sugar in there because I use more of it. I use a bigger one. These fit perfectly in cabinets or your drawers. They're stackable. They're geometrically organized so that they pile on top of each other perfectly. And even the spice shakers are great because the other side of them opens up so you can put the teaspoon right in. And our teaspoon, just so you know, fits perfectly inside that opening. So you're not having to take off the whole seal just to get your items out of the spice shakers. So that's a really nice treat too, because if you're just using the ones from the supermarket, they are not airtight. So your spices are gonna lose their freshness much faster. And most of the time you have to unscrew that lid and you can't get a teaspoon in. So you're using your 1/4 teaspoon or something to measure out over and over again. So there you go. We're gonna make the strawberry rhubarb pie. We're gonna bake it. We're gonna put it in our really cool pie taker. I love this. And this is a perfect example of what you have to do with Tupperware. When you see something in the catalog that's kind of cool, or the monthly flyers, you gotta buy it and not wait too long to make your decision. Because this isn't in the normal catalog. This only comes out seasonally. And not even then, you can't even guarantee it's gonna come out every season. So when you see a pie taker or something unusual, buy it and keep it. Because this pie, as good as it's gonna be, doesn't get to stay here and live with us. We're taking it over to our friend who helped us with some minor house repairs. So there you go, guys. That's the strawberry rhubarb pie. And that is the Tupperware I'm gonna use to make it. I hope you have a good day. Talk to you soon. Bye.